In this video and in this series, I'm going to tell you the 10 tips I've learned from being a Rover pet sitter for 1 year. You already know what Rover is if you're clicking on this video. You already know it's super user-friendly, super easy to customize all of your settings, all of your preferences. So let's get right into what you clicked on this video for, the tips. Tip number 1, picture, tagline, bio, reviews. They all go hand in hand. You can't get clients if people don't click on your profile. Your profile picture needs to be professional, friendly, and clear. It can have your pets in it, but it doesn't have to. Let's use a comparison example. Which picture are you leaning towards? This one is much more inviting and clear. Your tagline is also super important. This one is a hard one because it can only be a few words. Like, how am I supposed to sum up my whole account in just a few words? This is a challenge, but it's also a huge opportunity to set you apart from the other Rover sitters in your area. There are so many accounts that I see that just say pet lover or something like that. That's not going to cut it if you want to hit the ground running with your account. You will need keywords that help your account stand out. On the computer, more words are seen in your tagline, but the problem is most people use the Rover app and you can only see 1 to 2 words. So those 2 words really need to pack a punch. For example, your tagline should be something like responsible pet care or punctual pet sitter, or even copy the tagline I use, which I will talk a little bit more about in tip number 3. When it comes to your bio, talk about your experience in a visually organized way. You can even use bullet points. Making your bio clear while also visually organized not only tells potential clients that you are an organized person, but it also shows them. If your bio is unclear and it's hard for a potential client to see what you bring to the table, they might not book with you. Another thing you need to do in order to get some traction with your account is ask your friends and family who you've done pet sitting for in the past to write a review for you. Rover will let you email out links to people you know, and their review will show up on your profile. Of course, these reviews will not say verified stay on them because they were not booked through Rover, but it's better for a potential client to see 3 reviews on your account rather than just nothing for them to read. There is something to note about these links though. You can only send them out within the first 6 weeks of opening your account. So make sure you don't miss that deadline. Tip number 2, be active on the app. Rover, like any app, is an algorithm. It shows you the majority of your stats, and all of them can help you stay at the top of the search page. Most people looking for a sitter only view the top 10 sitters in their area. They usually don't scroll down too far on the list. There are sometimes hundreds of sitters in an area. The keys to staying at the top of the list are daily confirmation of your availability and your response time, specifically the first message sent to you by a potential client. For example, a client sends you a message about a potential booking, and you respond in 2 minutes, thanking them for reaching out to you and asking them for a little bit more information about the booking. The time it took for you to respond to that message, not accept the booking, is the critical part. So a 2-minute response time is going to be great for your metrics. If a client sees that you have an average response time of 2 minutes and you just confirmed your availability that day, they're highly likely to book with you. Those are great metrics. Of course, life happens. It's happened to all of us where you get a message about a potential booking and you're really busy, you didn't see the message, and you don't respond until 30 minutes later. Don't worry. The algorithm isn't going to immediately send your profile to the end. Your metrics will not be ruined forever. This is just a general guideline to try your best to respond quickly and confirm your availability every single day. Tip number 3, get the certification. I cannot stress this one enough. And this tip is one of my favorite ones. So there are actually online certifications you can get related to pet care, and you can get them relatively quickly and inexpensively. I got my pet CPR and first aid certification for only $15 on Udemy. It was completely online and I completed it in 1 day. Learning things like how to help pets in an emergency and possible toxic plants to dogs and cats will not only help you as a pet sitter, it will also help your profile tremendously. Going back to taglines, this is my tagline if you want to use it. Pet CPR and first aid even has its own filter feature on the app. So it's something potential clients can filter by when they're searching for someone. You will be so much more visible to clients if you get this certification. Tip number 4, pricing. When your profile is new, you either have 0 reviews or only the reviews written by your friends and family, you need to set your prices low. If you set them too high, the thought process going through a potential client's head is, why would I go with this sitter over someone who already has reviews and has had their Rover profile for a long time. Once you get a handful of reviews, I would say 10 as a rule of thumb, then increase your prices by a little bit, not too much, because you're still competing with other sitters in your area that have quite a few more reviews. Something I like to do with my pricing is what I call the buy 5 rule. Only increase your prices in increments of $5. Having all of your prices either end in a 5 or a 0 makes your profile look very clean and organized. Look at these two examples. It might not seem like that big of a deal to have a bunch of different numbers as your price settings, but my advice is to not slowly increase your prices by a few dollars every time you get a review, but wait until you get certain milestones. For example, once you hit 10, increase everything by 5. Once you hit 20, increase it by another $5. There is an unofficial cap that you need to be mindful of. You can't just keep increasing your prices indefinitely, which leads to tip number 5. Check the competition. Looking at other accounts in your area who have a lot of reviews is a great way to improve your own profile. Look at their profile pictures, their bios, their taglines. That's how I learned things like the Pet CPR First Aid certification and the Buy 5 rule. In episode 3 of this series, I look at real Rover accounts and give you my thoughts on what they do great and some of the things that maybe they can improve on. Tip number 6, have realistic expectations. I started my Rover account on October 1st, 2024, and I didn't get my first client until November 15th. A lot of people either talk themselves out of it, or they forget about their account, or they give up before they even get their first client. It costs $50 to create an account because Rover has to do a background check on all of its sitters, understandably. A lot of people see that and say, never mind, I don't need to make an account. Or they do open their account and they forget to check it every day and confirm their availability. Realistically, it takes about a month to get your first client, even if you follow all of the tips in this video. You are competing with a ton of other sitters in your area that already have reviews, so go easy on yourself. It takes time, but if you confirm your availability every day, the algorithm will notice that and it will push you to the top of the list in your area. Tip number 7, this is your business. There is this misconception that Rover is a side hustle to just play with animals all day and get paid for it. That is wrong. I will go into more depth about this topic in episode 2 of this series, where I talk more about misconceptions about being a Rover sitter, if you haven't already seen that video. This is your business. You need to take it seriously and provide good service. Even if you get a client and they book with you from your amazing profile, they aren't going to rebook with you if you don't provide stellar service. You need to make sure you're organized, punctual, and respond to messages quickly. Have good posture and confidence when you're talking to your client. Which person would you go with? Of course, you don't have to dress like you're going to the office and wear a blazer to every visit, but you do need to look somewhat put together, especially during meet and greets, which leads to tip number 8, schedule the meet and greet. Some people don't want to do a meet and greet because they don't want to do anything for free. One of the biggest mistakes people can make is when a booking request comes in, they immediately hit accept booking without reviewing anything about the pet or the client. Do not do that. Rushing into a booking is a recipe for a disaster and leaves a ton of room for information to fall through the cracks. Let me give you an example. A friend of mine made that mistake early on in her Rover career. A request came in at 7:30 a.m. for a booking at 8 a.m. Look at those times. The details on the booking said 8 a.m., 1 hour walk, 1 dog, 11-year-old female. Let me pause here real quick. Rover is not WAG. This is not Pet Uber where requests just come in and there's an immediate person there at your beck and call. I've never had a WAG account, so I cannot speak to specifics about WAG, but I do know that WAG is geared more towards requests like this. So my friend accepts this request without a meet and greet, walked the dog, and that was that. Later, she checked her Rover account to find an angry review from this client stating, "This sitter did not walk my dog quick enough or long enough or far enough. This sitter ripped me off. Do not book with her." A bad review on your Rover profile can be catastrophic for your metrics and for your business. The algorithm notices it. Clients notice. In my friend's defense, the dog was walking slowly on the walk, and the client didn't mention anything about her dog wanting to run every day. The owner never mentioned that her 11-year-old dog needed a brisk walk every single day. But the damage was done at that point. There are countless stories along the same lines as this one, if you check Reddit. The moral of the story, always schedule the meet and greet. It also, the client will have more trust in you, and it just eliminates so much room for error. Also, the Rover app is super user-friendly and provides organized ways to send summaries to clients. They're called Rover cards, but they're essentially summaries. Using the Rover card is optional on the app, but it's not optional. You have to use them every single time you have a visit to have a successful Rover business. I cannot tell you how many clients have thanked me for providing detailed notes and sending beautiful pictures of their pets while they're away. Which would you rather see if you knew that your pet was with a pet sitter? A generic note with no pictures? Or a detailed note with pictures that are actually good? Tip number 9, have cute supplies. Once you get a few clients under your belt, it becomes a snowball effect. Depending on your availability, sometimes you can have multiple clients in one day. It can be a lot to keep track of. So going into each meet and greet, I bring a checklist with me so I can have all of my questions answered in one place for each booking. The checklist that I use is linked below if you want to use the one I have. It's completely free. It's linked below if you want it. Also, having a great pet bag is essential. This is the bag I use, and I have never looked back. I used to bring my regular purse, but it's just so much easier to be hands-free. You can use this as a belt bag or a crossbody bag to be completely hands-free. It has card holders, it has a key leash, it has a slot to put pet waste bags, and even has a dispenser on the back for them. It's so easy to just grab them right out of the bag. Also, the kit has this ball and treat pouch where it fits a full-size tennis ball, or you can put treats in it. I know a popular bag that's used a lot is the Lululemon belt bag, but that one's it's just one pouch, just a one zipper pouch. This bag blows that one out of the water. This bag is from a company called Playfield. I have spoke with the CEO multiple times, and she's amazing. Amazing company as well. I could go on and on about it. I have reached out to her letting her know that I'm making this video, and she kindly gave me a code that I can give you guys for 10% off. It's linked down below if you want to get this bag. It's the best. The last and final tip I have for you for this video is tip number 10, tax write-offs. I know every country and every area has different taxes, so I'm not a professional here. Please consult with your tax professional before you file your taxes. But no matter where you live, the money you make on Rover is taxable. You need to pay taxes on this. Some things you can use as tax write-offs are things like walking shoes and pet supplies, pet cleaning supplies. One big one is mileage reimbursement. I use an app called Stride. It's completely free. This is not sponsored. It's just the easiest one, and that's the one I use. It's super easy to enter in my mileage for every visit, and it sends me a printout at the end of the year so that it's easy to send to my tax advisor. Another cool one is you can use promotional materials as tax write-offs too, like thank you cards. I created a few thank you cards that I give to my clients. I have linked those below as well if you want to use those ones. They're also completely free. Okay, so those are the 10 to have for you based on my first year with Rover as my side hustle. In 1 year, I have made $3,574. Keep in mind, my availability is very limited. I still work full time, so I'm only doing Rover part-time, and I only do walks and drop-ins. So if you do boarding, doggy daycare, or house sitting, you can hit this number even faster. I hope this video was helpful to you. Go ahead and watch episode 2 of this series, where I talk about a lot of assumptions for being a Rover sitter. And thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.